Back again.
back again.
Boy.
We don't even know what just happened, but it doesn't matter. It's the remix. It's part 2. Do whatever. And we're going to continue talking about this crappy show that we call Big Brother Celebrity, because that's what it is. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So we left off with them finally evicting Lamar. He's gone. And Todrick being a jerk on his way out, doing the whole...
If anything, I would say that while Lamar's exit was sad, it was the most heartwarming part of the episode. We get to hear Lamar's remarks about how, Julie's talking about, asking him questions about what has he learned, what has he taken away from the experience. And he was saying how he's asked Todd to be his sober coach moving on forward. Honestly, he was like, and I think that's the reason why I was brought to the Big Brother house. And I was like, what? This is like such a pure moment that we haven't been having obviously this season. And this is a pure unscripted, nothing was contrived from this moment. This was just Lamar being his honest truth. And so that was, amazing to see. Of course, Julie has to try to make it a Jesus thing with the "you were resurrected" type thing, and I was like,
I screamed at my computer screen when Julie Chen-Moonves was like, "You were resurrected. You were Jesus, God, Jesus, Bible, Jesus."
Because it's he fully was given a second chance for sure.
Yes.
But say it like that. Say you were given a second chance at life, and it's awesome to see how you're thriving now. Resurrected.
I also love that.
Did he die?
Almost.
I think he actually did for a little bit.
No,
came back,
I know. I'm just But this is. Okay. I am a Christian woman. Mm-hmm. I love the Lord with all of my heart and soul. But I refuse to make my whole daily life conversations about how people are resurrected and how God is just God loves you and your faith is what brings you. Julie brings it up at I'm like, look, Julie, you are a host, a television host, and I understand your path because being a Christian woman and doing your job goes hand in hand. You want to. That's what Christianity is about. We spread the gospel.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a time and a place for that.
Yes.
And she just be doing it. And she makes it so cringy. You don't have to make it so cringy.
It's not even cringy. It makes it uncomfortable for someone like that is not my life. And so to come in and just I don't know. For me, it makes it uncomfortable how it's brought up at every single opportunity.
She lost me when I found out she started sending Christian Bibles to Jewish people. That's honestly where she lost me because there have been past house guests that have talked about it. And I have nothing against religion. I personally am agnostic. I have nothing against religion. Most of my family is religious in some capacity, and I respect the hell out of it as long as y'all respect me for being who I am. But at the end of the day, I have to be really honest with y'all. If I somehow ever end up on Big Brother, I could not wait for the day that I receive my Julie Chen-Moonves Bible. I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I cannot wait for the day. And that's me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I respect anyone's choices.
Or when if she asks, are you a child of God?
Oh,
yes.
Imagine the gag. Imagine the gag of being no. Just she would probably be so shocked.
Well, that's an interesting question, Julie. I'm actually a queer non-binary person, so take with that what you will.
Gosh,
I want to
go ahead.
I was just gonna pull Lamar back up on screen and also vote Shayna or Lamar or Carson or Mariah.
After that moment with Lamar, I feel like I'm just going to be throwing him a few votes his way because I feel like he has been the most joy. He's just given me so much joy watching him. And like we said, we know his story. We've heard his story. We've heard how, yes, he has been through a lot. He has gotten second chances on life. He was near death. He should have been gone. Yes. But somehow, some way, and I'll say this from my perspective, God delivered him and brought him back because that's how I see things. Now, your religion is, or your beliefs is what you want it to be. But for me, he was on that deathbed and the miracle happened and God brought him back. Thank the Lord. And he is here and he's able to get that second chance on life and he's not wasting his second chance. And that's what I love so much about Lamar this season. He's been showing that he's not wasting his second chance and he's doing what he has to do. And he's being so open and honest. And people need that because some people who didn't know his story could be going through the same struggles that he had. Like, who's to say somebody who's watching this show went through the same or is going through a drug addiction that is costing them their lives. They're losing their families and hearing his story and how he overcame it could help them. And so
I want to specify I'm not going on any drug rehabilitation journeys. I just had not heard of
his story. Right.
I would like to specify for the masses. Just some clarification. Yeah, I just needed to clarify.
It was the hand raised for me. I was like,
it was I was like, nope, not that one. not recently. One. No. But no, my favorite part too was at the end where she was like, wait, I have one more question. And Julie was like, what's harder, Big Brother or winning 2 NBA championships? And Lamar literally goes, it's like a toss-up. It's like head-to-head. And I'm like, the only person that said that. Because she's asked everyone except for Carson.
I mean, I guess what you're going to say, ask Carson, is it harder to play Big Brother or to
be a guest judge on Drag Race?
A judge on, and dress people on Queer Eye? Like,
right? Like,
apples and oranges.
Literally that.
I mean, but Lamar is Lamar, and that answer is pure Lamar. Like, he played this whole game like, totally. It is what it is. What happens?
And normally I hate that, but in this case, he's just so lovable.
It just worked.
It worked it didn't work with Meta.
Really worked.
It didn't work with Meta because Meta was so annoying. Lamar wasn't annoying. Lamar was just like pure with it. It was
there were enough people being annoying that Lamar couldn't be the annoying one.
Yes, exactly, 100%.
But yes, it's double eviction time.
Double,
I kind of want to pull up the Cynthia reaction face again since we're in a different video because oh god, that's how tonight's going, everyone. Hold on. Yes, but yes, we're in double eviction. Julie announces it to the 4 remaining house guests. There's only 4. This is also the first time I think they've ever done a double at 4 in the history. Do we think this is because of the departure of Chris Kattan?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. The Cynthia shocked face again. Oh, wait. Yes. So, so Julie announces that it is a double eviction. Get your butts to the backyard because we're gonna play a hallway comp. Sure. So we go to the backyard. This comp was BB something movie trailers.
Yeah, they were
something.
It was where they were given 3 different posters, and as they were looking at the posters, they had audio in the background describing the movie that the people were going to go see, and they had to be the first to buzz in for the correct movie poster. And so this one honestly went back and forth. This challenge literally just so much hope and then so much disappointment all in one. But honestly, it could have worked out really well because going into the challenge, I was like, okay, so either way, it's just the veto. The veto is the one that matters. And so when eventually we see the winner of the HOH, which is Misha, a part of me was actually glad because I was like, how sweet would it be for Todrick to go out on Misha's HOH? Like, that would literally be amazing. And so whenever Misha did win, I was like, okay, honestly, this could work out in our favor because like I just thought I went into this thinking that it would be best case for her to win the HOH and then obviously Todd or Cynthia win veto. And so we got the first part, but then it was just brutal from here on out. All hope was lost.
Yeah, so Misha does win the HOH. She nominates obviously Cynthia and Lamar, or Cynthia and Todd. I'm still thinking Lamar's in the game. I want Lamar to be in the game. Nominates Todd and Cynthia. We go to the veto, and I thought it was a crapshoot. When they went to commercial, I was like, it's a crapshoot. Oh my God, we have an opportunity. It's a crapshoot. Oh my God.
They suckered us.
And then we find out that it's a fucking days comp. And I'm like,
just in what world? What CBS executive is watching this and thinking, oh yeah, let's make it so Todrick has the most likelihood of winning this POV. Who thought that was a good idea? Who signed off on this? I can maybe get it for the final HOH competition. Totally. Have a days comp there. But in this important
in a double eviction veto,
like they're not dumb. Big Brother is definitely the show where like they can definitely switch things up. I assume, obviously I don't know the back ends of things, but like they have more pull than like Survivor. Like once Survivor's like in the process of filming, they're pretty stuck to what they have to end up doing. Big Brother, I feel like there's wiggle room. And this is where they needed to apply that, because in what world did the producers think that Todd or Cynthia or even Misha was going to know exactly the days? When again, Todrick is the only one who actually watches the show and knows that that's actually important.
You know who would have won this veto comp? Shayna.
Would have been so iconic.
It would have been great. But yeah, so it ends up, Todd gets, I think, a point. I think Cynthia gets 2 because of ties. So the comp was you have to roll the ball and you have to get onto the specific day. But like obviously Todd and Cynthia didn't know what they were doing, so they were guessing. It ends up a tie between Todrick and Misha. And Misha ends up winning the tiebreaker. And I'm like, honestly, anything to keep another comp win away from Todrick.
But I was like, they're just playing in our face. They're playing in our face at this point. Like, and Todd was saying the same thing. He was like, they have it. They have it. Like, you could tell after a certain point, even Todd was annoyed of like, why are we just dragging this out?
Because there were 9 questions, I think. Yeah, like, he knows he's going home. Like, just let it happen.
Let the man go.
So, yeah, it was, I loved Julie getting mad at Todrick and Misha at this point too, because they kept being like, oh, wait, and Julie's like, answers are locked, peasants. Literally. And I love Angry Julie. Angry Julie is my favorite Julie. But yes, so Misha wins the veto. Misha wins all of the double eviction things. Woo. Noms stay the same. Shocker. Todrick then goes on this whole ass speech about,
which I hate. I hate even not even it being Todrick. I hate when people are like, I love you so much. Like I've loved getting to like just eliminate them. Just get it done.
The difficulty for me is like we've seen on feeds or on Twitter, as we've all seen it because we're not following feeds. Be real honest there. We've seen where like Todrick has had conversations in the house about being uncomfortable around straight men, specifically Todd and Lamar, because they lasted the longest. And then in his voting speech to say, you know, I don't have a whole lot of experience around black straight men. His words, not mine. I would like to point out, these are all his words, not mine. But like that, and then when he's like, I promised that I would save my chocolate queen, Cynthia. Again, his words, not mine.
Well, he Carson. He told Carson that he would look out for Cynthia as long as he could. And so it wasn't even like he was just saying stuff that just wasn't needed. He didn't need to say any of this.
It was the one time I wanted someone to vote the way that Todd does. Evict Todd! Like, honestly, that's all I needed. I'm like, I don't care. No one cares. At this point, I honestly seem to think that either Todrick is so delusional that he thinks that all of this entertainment he's providing is going to get him the win, or he doesn't realize that the jurors are sequestered.
Not sequestered.
Not sequestered. That's what I meant. Not sequestered.
What did he also say? What's Todd's bullshit, famous line that he said in his TV show?
What you talking about, Todd?
Yeah, he said that. And Todrick literally was like, I know you hate when people say that. So you're sending him home on this bullshit speech that you've just given him, saying something you know that like he doesn't love to hear.
He doesn't like.
Yeah, it like annoys him to hear that. And so it's like, you just really are just setting yourself up for disaster here.
Yeah, so we do lose.
Like, I have to speak now. Yes. I'm about to go on a rant. So excuse me.
Hold on one moment. I'm so sorry.
I have to go on a rant real quick. Thank you. Todrick Hall is a disgusting man. I will start by saying that. Because he uses being black like it's a coat he can take on and take off anytime he wants to use it. He loves to stand on the soapbox and like, we have to stick together. You know, as black people in this house, it's not a lot of us, and we need to stick together and da 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 da. All the nonsense and foolishness he's been spouting because he wants to be like the Cookout 2.0 version when you are not even invited to many cookouts, sir. You will not get an invite to half the cookouts you think you are invited to. You are the most vile human being I've ever seen in my life as a black man to stand on national TV and try to play in all black communities' faces like we don't see you for who you are, because not only are you not trying to work with the POCs in the house, you dogged them behind their back at every chance you got. You talked about them. You talked about how you don't get along with straight black men when you never even tried. You didn't even want to. You weren't even willing. You were playing a game. You were trying to put on a mask to act like you were a fan or you're a friend to these people. But then when you get behind their back, you dogging them and talking about, that is not an ally. That is not, you are, sir, or what we call skin folk. You are not kinfolk. You are skin folk. That means we don't trust you in the community. We don't trust you because not only are you trying to pull up the race card when it's convenient for you, but then you got a final two with a full-fledged white woman, and you ain't trying to and Cynthia is sitting right there. Cynthia's sitting right there. You claim to be friends with, but you want to make it like this is the Cookout 2.0 version, but you ain't willing to cut your white woman off like every person in the cook-off had to do to make their goals met. But you ain't trying to do that because you ain't for real, homie. Don't try to act like you real when you not. And they'll want to get up there and act like, oh, woe is me. I'm the victim. I can't get along with straight black men. I don't know how to work with straight black men. And I can't do this. And my chocolate queen and this. Save that. Save that. You are a disgusting human being. We saw what you did to the homeless woman you was making fun of in your youth. We saw you. We see you don't pay your dancers. We see you, sir. You are not the stand-up guy who is going to represent the black community because you're not doing that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't try to front. If you go cool for the world and let us know it and just be upfront about it. Like, you know what? I'm out for me and me only. Because that's what you're doing. But don't try to put on being black as a costume. It's that we hate it when white people do it. We hate it when other races do it to us. And we certainly hate it when our own people try to do it to us. Don't do that, sir. You're disgusting. And I hope when you get out of this house, you see, and people will let you know how disgusting you are. Because that's gross. Don't try to play the we want to represent the POCs in the house when you got a full fledged final two with the white woman that you're not willing to cut, that you ain't gonna win against. You won't win against nobody in the house because you're just disgusting. You don't know how to handle people. How dare you send somebody out the house when you know they have told you this line from a show that I've been on since I was a teenager annoys me. And you turn around and use it right on his way out the door. You gaining votes how? You are disgusting when a woman tells you something in confidence about a trauma that happens in her life, and you use that same trauma against her as she's leaving. Disgusting. You are a vile human being. And I hope when you get out this house and you see all of the hate that you're going to get, you learn from it and grow from it, because right now you are just like, I want to flick you off the face of this earth and have you never to return again because you're gross. I believe in second chances. I believe that people deserve a second chance. And I hope you learn from this so you can get that second chance. But right now, don't use the black community and the POCs for your to get you to gain you ground if you're not even gonna stand for that. That was the difference between you and the cookout. The cookout said this was their point, this was their goal, this was what they wanted, and they did everything they had to do to achieve that goal. You want to use the cookout and ride their coattails just to get you further, but you're not trying to walk the same line. You only want to, like, you're horrible. You're horrible. And I'm done. You're a horrible man, and I hope you learn from this. Period.
I miss the Lana rants. I'm gonna be real honest. They're always correct. They're always correct every single time. But yes, unfortunately, we have a top 3 of Miss Hall, Miss Tate, and Cynthia Bailey. She somehow made the top 3. She's not sure how. We're not sure how, but she did.
You there?
She's there. And
honestly, her speeches were so, honestly, I was living for her speeches. She was just like, y'all are great. Like, I really don't know how I'm here. Like, she was just
literally,
I was like, this is so endearing. This is so endearing to her.
Oh, happy birthday, by the way, Cynthia Bailey. We know
yes,
you.
Belated happy birthday.
Happy belated happy birthday. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but yes, that's all we got. We got a finale on Wednesday. We'll be here to hopefully talk about Cynthia Bailey win. I think regardless, there will be another woman winning Celebrity Big Brother. And like,
fully.
Okay, bullshit aside, if Misha wins the season, she is a deserving winner. And I'm going to say that. I don't necessarily like the woman. Totally. But I think she is if she wins the final HOH, I believe she will have like 6 out of 15 wins on the season. She's at like 5 out of 14 at this point. And I'm like, you know what? If she wins, I can't be horribly upset.
I won't even be upset because this is the thing. At least she played the game. Yeah. And even though she didn't have the knowledge like everybody else had coming into the game, she learned it as she went. And she kicked butt in competitions. Yep. She made sure that she was safe at every turn. She ain't been on the block, I don't think. Her
and Miss Hall have not touched the block.
Never touched the block. So if she wins the final HOH, her resume is fully stacked. There's no one who can compare to that. There's no one who can question how good of a game she played. Do I like her personally? Not really particularly, and I would love to see Cynthia win over her. But if we're going by stats and who played this game, Misha Tate deserves to win this game. She played it
Totally.
from beginning to end, and people can be mad that she dominated, but that's y'all fault for not being as strong as Misha. She just killed y'all. And but if we're talking about social game, was her social game that great? Probably not. I think that's where she lacked the most is her social game.
Yep.
But she didn't have to have a social game because her comp game was killer. And
Yep.
she lined up with the right people.
Yep.
Todrick wins HOH, she's safe. Todd wins HOH, she's safe. And then when she should have been on the block in Carson's HOH, she maneuvered her way to make sure she was safe.
Yep.
Just so wild.
Who played better? Who played better than that?
I have to say she's definitely one of the best players of recent. And
definitely celebrity.
Definitely celebrity. I would even, you know what, overall for US, I'd probably put her for US. I would probably put her in the mix among the best players of the last 5 years. Add Canada in, that becomes a different story. But because I think a lot of the best players have been from Canada, which is why we're the most excited to talk about Canada. But yeah, I mean, I can't be upset if Misha wins. I want Cynthia to win, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree. It's very the Big Brother 23 of it all, in which like everyone was like, if Xavier wins, like of course like he deserves it.
Yeah.
Nobody really wanted Big D to win, and then everyone was like, please, Ozza, that'd be great.
Ozza!
Ozza!
It feels like the final three of me again.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. It's like Xavier, sure, he deserves it. He's a notable winner. Big D, definitely not. Did not win.
No, it's literally the deserving winner, the most hated person in the house, and the fan winner.
And the fan,
Again.
right.
Again.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's so weird that this is what it is. And for Miss Hall to be such a fan of 23 to not understand where he falls in line.
Again, he listened a little bit too much to Kylan and Big D and not enough to Xavier and Tiffany. And Ozza.
And Hannah.
And Hannah. I cannot forget Miss Hannah Chada. I love that woman.
No, I love it's sad. It's sad that he doesn't realize that he is coming off as the Big D of it all. And you can like Big D after the fact, and I don't care, whatever. But in that game, he was horrible. He didn't do anything to her. He rode the coattails of Xavier and Kylan to get to that point. Todrick has ridden the coattails of Misha to get to this point. Sure, the only difference between him and Big D is he won a competition. He won HOH. That's the only difference. He won one HOH
and
a veto.
Yeah.
HOH and a veto. So that's the only difference between him and Big D is he won 2 competitions.
Yep.
But other than that, his attitude stinks. He's sending people to Dream mad at him. And it's just bad. It's just bad all the way around.
It's bad.
But that's it.
Yeah, and we'll be back on Wednesday to talk about hopefully Cynthia Bailey or Misha Tate winning Celebrity Big Brother Season 3.
We will definitely be talking about either Cynthia or Misha. There's no way Todrick's winning.
There's no way.
It won't be unanimous, unfortunately, because Todd did say on his way out that Todrick's playing the best game and basically confirmed he's voting for Todrick, which is
But there are a few days between.
Between.
I feel like Todd could
I never thought I would say this, but Teddy Mellencamp, do your work.
This is what I
never thought I would say.
Yeah, please.
But see, this is what could happen. Todd is going to get out that house, and people are going to send him all the nasty stuff that Todrick said about him. And Todd's going to be like, oh, no. Mm-hmm. Todd is that kind of man. I feel like Todd is that kind of man. Like, if he hears some bull about him, and Todrick is saying some nasty stuff behind his back, he'll be like, oh, what? Oh, no. And so I feel like Twitter, do your work. Everybody who can send Todd some clips of Todrick saying some stuff, do your work. Do your job. Let's do it. Get on it.
Well, we will be back finale night after the finale, 11 p.m. Eastern-ish. I don't know what time the finale happens, but it'll be around there. Talking about the finale, a woman winning, 99.9% sure a woman winning. And yeah, that's that. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another 2-part video. Unexpected 2-part, but a 2-part nonetheless. And with that, goodbye. Cheers to you all. Bye. I'm the only one with a cup, I think, nearby. Audrey might have one, but I don't know. Oh, we got cups. Oh, okay, cool. Cheers. Yay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye
now.
Bye-bye. No, bye. No, please leave.
Shane or Lamar for AFP.
Yeah, Shane.